Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly Brock, and for over 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. So now I'm on a mission to help other new business owners just like you make money doing what you love too. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started.
Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 148, and I am so glad that you are here today because we are talking about how long it takes for someone like you to start a business. I get this question a lot. How long does it take? Will it take me days? Will it take me months? Will it take me years? Today, we're going to sort through it all, and I'm so glad you're here because you need to take all of these things into consideration when thinking through how long it's going to take you to start your business. If you are new here, welcome. I am so glad that you found this podcast. I have no doubt that it's going to help you along your business journey, whether you are in the idea stage, whether you're just starting or you're growing. This is for you. You're in the right place. And I'm just so happy you're here. Make sure you get plugged in. You can scroll down right now and join my private Facebook group. Yes, it's called Women Starting Businesses, Doing What We Love. We have such an amazing group of ladies who are just so supportive and can answer your questions if you feel stuck, whatever it is. Like today, someone was asking about their business name and what do y'all think? You can post things like that. It's awesome and helpful. And it's just so nice to know that there's other women going through the same thing that you are. So make sure you get plugged in. I have some other free downloads and goodies for you. So when you scroll down in the notes right now, make sure you read those and see what's available to you because there's help that's here for you. And I'm so glad you're here. And I also list down there ways that you can work with me. I have workshops. I have a group that helps you grow your business called Grow Getters, and just check it all out below. And if you've been listening a while, thank you so much to my loyal listeners. I wanted to read a review really quick. This one is by Kim, P-E-R-Y, Kim Perry. Is that right? And she titled it Hooked. It says, I've always had business ideas come up and go in my mind, and they get pushed aside for various life reasons. I'm listening to your podcast now and feeling hopeful. I love that. I'm so glad that I gave you hope. Kim Perry, thank you so much for taking time to write this review. And if you've been listening a while and you've never rated this podcast or written a review, would you be so kind to do that for me right now? All you have to hit is the 5-star rating and whatever player you're listening in. I know Apple Podcasts has that. I think Spotify now has the ratings, and the other ones have all the ratings where you can hit the star. And if you can write a written review, if you can just take 30 seconds, it would just mean the world to me. And it would tell other people that are looking at podcasts that yes, this is a valuable podcast. So thank you so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello everyone. How are you? How is your business? I am dying to hear. Oh my gosh, I love it when you post in the Facebook group because I get to hear. I want to know how it's going, what progress are you making, and how are you feeling about it? Are you feeling aligned with everything that you're doing, or are you feeling uncomfortable? I talk about this a lot with my Grow Getters. And if you're new here, you're like, what are Grow Getters? That is my group membership for new business owners who are trying to grow and get to consistent sales and learn how to market themselves effectively. We talk about things like this a lot, about alignment and feeling good about what you're doing. And so that's why I bring that up a lot to you too, because it's important in the very beginning, even if you're dreaming, to feel like this business that you're starting is actually something that you want to be doing, right? You don't want to be starting one that's not something that you're really excited about. Because let me tell you, there's going to be a lot of hard days. And you've got to absolutely believe in and love what you do so that you can keep going. Okay. So I'm so happy you're here because I know a lot of you are concerned about how long it's going to take to start a business, or how long it should be taking if you're starting one now, or how long is it going to take to get this thing growing? And the answer is as long as you allow it to take. Spoiler alert, as long as you allow it to take. Now, I'm going to share with you some factors that are really involved that are going to give you a better idea for your specific business. Because here's the deal. All of your situations are different. All of your businesses are different. All of your life experiences are different. All of your experience, whether you were a teacher or a nurse, or you've been in some kind of business sales or business management before, all that experience is going to play into how long it's going to take you to start your business. Okay. And we're going to go through those and work through those today so that you can have a clearer idea in your head. I don't want to complicate this and make it seem daunting and scary, but I think it's important that you know the factors that are going to either speed up things or slow down things. Okay, as you're starting your business. So whether it's a product or a service, whether you want to be a consultant or a coach, or you're some kind of teacher, instructor, musician, artist, creator, maker, baker, whatever it is, it's all going to depend on a lot of different things. So the first thing that the speed with which your business can get started depends on is the location where you're going to have your business. So if you are going to have a physical store, that is going to take a lot longer to get started than if you are a service provider and you say, you know what, I could start now and I could start helping people tomorrow, right? There's a big difference in the speed. Okay. If you are opening a retail location, that is going to take months and months and months. I don't know. It can probably go on for a long time. But it's as long as you allow it. You can try to find contractors that will do everything quicker. If you hire a consultant who's done this before and opened your type of businesses before, then it's going to go a lot faster, right? I almost did that. Y'all know I almost opened a facial spa in my area before I started this business. I had been talking to a consultant who this is all she did was open spas and facial spas in retail environment. And so she was amazing, and I would have hired her had I moved forward. And she would have sped up the whole process because that is a super long process, right? But if you're making a product, let's say you want to sell it on Etsy or you want to sell a website, right? Those two different things can take different timings as well. Etsy is going to be super quick. You can get it up and going. If you want to have your own website, it's going to take you a little while longer. So you have to learn how to use the website platform. You're going to have to make sure it's all working and all that stuff, right? So it all depends on the location of your business. Whether it's an Etsy shop, if you're just going to be on Facebook, if you're going to be just word of mouth and you're going to have it on Instagram, or you're going to have a local store. Totally different timeframes. I can't tell you exactly what the time frame is. I can tell you this. If you want to start an Etsy store, you can probably get it up pretty quick. If you are offering services locally, something locally, you could literally post on social today and be selling tomorrow. So you don't have to complicate this. It can be very simple, but the speed with which you start your business is going to depend, number one, on the location with, where you want to have it. Number two, it's going to depend on the type of business, whether it's a service or a product you're making or a product you're reselling. Okay. There is a huge difference in the amount of time that it may take. If you're reselling other people's products, like I did with my gift boutiques, I didn't physically make anything myself. I had to go to market. I had to pick them out. Nowadays, there's Faire, which is a wholesale website where you can put your products up there and retail stores can buy from you that way instead of having to physically go to a market. And that may take a little bit because you have to order and then you have to wait to get to ship to you. Whereas if you made something, you made headbands or you made some kind of cute tumblers or something, you may already have some of those there and you could make an order pretty quick and get going. If you offer a service like you were like me, like you're a coach or strategist or consultant or anything like that, or some type of musician and you go out and you help people, you may be able to start that really quick based on that type of business because you could just put it up and say, I can come to your house lessons tomorrow or lessons here at my house or at a neutral location, whatever that is, right? Your type of business is going to dictate how long it's going to take you to get started. If you decide that you want to take a long time to really, work on and create and test your product, like if you make it yourself, it may take a little while. But it would behoove you to get something going and get testers as soon as possible so you can go ahead and get this thing out there, right? But it all depends on the type of business, right? So the first thing is location is a factor. The type of business, the product or service that you're going to have is a factor. The third one is if you have been doing this a while or not. That is a huge determining factor in terms of the speed with which you can get started, right? I have grow-getters, for example, like Kim Aguilar, you heard her, she was on episode 116, and she's a landscape design and consultant. She's been doing this for years and years and years. So when she was working on starting her business before she quit her full-time job, I think she was able to get that piece of her business going really quickly. She already knew how to offer and what to offer. Some of you, though, have had a product or service that you're just getting into, and it's going to take a little bit longer to get traction. Even for my business, I'd been running my own boutiques online for 19 years. But when I started this coaching business, I had to take time to aggregate my knowledge and start sifting through what I was going to teach people and what was not important. And that was a hard process for me, because I had so much experience that then to turn it into teaching others, it's not like I was just opening another boutique. If I was opening another boutique, no brainer. I can do that so easily, right? But as far as now turning into someone who is teaching others, I've never been a teacher, right? And I've always been in sales management, or running my own businesses. And I didn't have experience getting my thoughts together and writing down and creating a system for what I was teaching. Totally different type of business, totally different, right? And it took me a while to get my footing. Yes, I had one-on-one clients and everything was going, but to get my programs together, like grow-getters, which I mentioned, right? And also a new program is coming out for those of you that are turning your idea into an actual business and want to get opened, want to get this thing launched. Make sure you click down below. I have a wait list so you can get notified when that program opens, because I will be opening up to founding members at the lowest price I'll ever offer it. And it won't be offered at that price ever again. And you could be in on the ground floor. And I'm just so excited about it. It's another program. And I feel so aligned, as I mentioned before a minute ago. I feel so aligned with this. And when you are a coach or a consultant, it is imperative that you feel aligned. And it sometimes will take you a while to develop what you're actually offering. Okay, so I feel you. For those of you that are coaches, consultants, I feel you. It's hard. It's a process. Luckily now I know how to go about wrangling all of our knowledge and, putting it into a program. I know how to do that now, but it takes a little while. So for you, if you've been doing this a long time, it may be super easy. Or if you're developing a product, like I have another grow-getter, Deanna Craig. She is starting her business, Citrine Herbals, which are bath teas. And I'm so excited about her bath teas because I've never used a bath tea. I didn't even know that existed. And so she has been in product development herself. She had never done this type of business and never had a business and never actually made this type of product and had to go through the whole thing. She was a lover of that type of product and believed in it, but it still takes a little while to get that going and then to get your footing in, like, oh my gosh, am I a business owner? Am I an entrepreneur? How do I do this? What am I doing? The experience that you've had with your type of product or service is going to dictate how long it takes you to start this business. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so we had location, type of business, your experience with the product or service, The fourth thing is time, the amount of time you have. So some of you have full-time jobs and you have kids and you're married or you're a single parent. You are so busy, it's not even funny. If you want to start this business, you are going to have to make time. I don't know if you listened to last week's episode. I would go to that about creating space for big things in your life. Go back and listen to that after this, okay? You are going to have to make space for this, okay? Whether it means getting up at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, working on it at night. If you want to do this right now at this stage in your life, when you have a full-time job and you have all these kids, you will have to make time. Or you hire someone to do it all for you. It is going to be expensive, and that can bring some of its own challenges because then you don't really know what you're doing because you've hired everything out. You're still going to be doing things. So that one's a little bit iffy. I don't know if you can go part-time with your job or if you can get help with your kids or something on the weekend. Can a grandparent take your children for, Sunday afternoons for 4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours that you can work on this business? You will have to make space. Okay. So the amount of time is going to be crucial to this. I have not had a job while I started, let me say that again. I did not have a job when I started this business. So it was easy for me to dedicate my time during the day. It was easy for me to manage my time, all that good stuff. But then again, I'm the person that absolutely loves this. And I spent way more hours than I probably should have because I just was constantly researching and getting more information and learning and just trying to become wise so that I could share all of this with you and save you all of the time of having to research this and learn all this because there's a lot. There's a lot, right? But the amount of time is going to dictate how long this takes you. I'm just going to be honest. So whatever situation you're in, think about it right now. How much time do you really have? And if you don't have that much time, it's going to take you longer, and give yourself grace and say, that's okay. I just want to get started. I don't even care if I only have an hour a week. I just want to get started on my dream. Then you do it. That is amazing. That's more than anyone else will do. I'm telling you, there's so many people out there who will not work on their dream. They keep saying one day, they keep saying one day, they never do it. But you're different. If it's an hour a week, if it's 30 minutes a week, if it's 4 hours a week, if it's 8 hours a week, whatever it is, whatever amount of time you have, be smart about it. Listen to last week's episode about creating the space and get busy. Okay. Okay. So we said location, type of business, whether you've been doing this a while or not, the time that you have. The next thing is money, the amount of money you have to get started. Some of you have zero funds for this, and I'm going to be honest with you, it makes it hard because things cost money. If you want graphic design to create graphics, social graphics, graphics for your website, anything, that's Canva. That's a monthly fee, $15 a month or whatever it is, $12. If you need help with like QuickBooks or something reconciling your financials, that may be a certain amount per month. If you want a website platform, that's a certain amount per month. There are things that cost. Okay. If you want to speed up the time with which you start your business and get everything laid out for you, and you join a program like Grow Getters or the new one that I'm starting, it costs money. It costs money, but it's saving you so much time and you're getting there way faster. Okay. Way faster. But if you don't have money, there are ways to start. It'd be hard to cover all of that today, right? I'm just kind of covering the things that are determining your speed, but there are ways to start on a total budget. And you can do that. And you can ask people in our Facebook group, in the Women Starting Businesses Doing What We Love group, and ask people how they really started on a budget. There are things that you can do. Okay. But it is going to determine your speed, because if you're able to afford help and getting guidance and quickening up everything, it will pay for itself in no time, because you won't waste all those months like trying to figure this out on your own, right? Okay, that was the fifth thing. The sixth thing is how comfortable you are with your business idea. Here's what I see, and this goes back to the alignment word that I used a couple times already. If you are not super comfortable with your business idea, let's say you just you saw a need for something and you were like, okay, that would be a really good business, but it wasn't really your passion. You didn't really love it. Yes, you can be super successful. Yes, those make great businesses. But if you aren't loving it, your enthusiasm for the business could wane. Okay. And I just want you to consider that. I think most of you here love what you're wanting to offer or are offering already. Like you love it and you're excited about it. But I challenge you today and just ask yourself, how much do I love this? If I could start any business, what would it be? And if you go, I really want a brick and mortar store, but that's not in your cards right now. But you say, you know what? One day I want to do that. But right now I could just start selling some of the products here locally at shows, or I could have an Etsy store, I could get an online store. And so I'm very comfortable with that start. Then that's wonderful, because now you can get going. You're comfortable and you're going to keep going. You're going to keep being excited about it because you're going to have your dream ahead of you. And here's the deal too. Your dream business that you can't start now, but you want to later, could change. Is that not too funny? So like when I started my online boutiques, I remember my sister-in-law, Courtney, she worked for me. I've told you all that before. She was a teacher and then she wanted to be home with her kids when she had kids. And so she worked for me and wasn't teaching for a long time because she was working for me. And it was amazing and wonderful and highly recommended. But she would say, you don't want a brick and mortar store? You don't want a retail store? Wouldn't it be fun to have a boutique? And I was like, no, I do not. I have kids. This is so busy. I do not. I would be married to it. I have to find employees. And like, I was all grumpy about it. I was like, no. Literally just the other day, I was walking into a boutique and I was like, this boutique is beautiful. It was in Newport Beach, California. So of course it was beautiful. I was visiting my sister. She lives in Corona Del Mar, if any of y'all are familiar with that area. And there was the cutest little gift boutique and it was carrying some of the brands that I used to carry in my online stores. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the first time I actually was like, this boutique is cute. I love this. I could do this when I'm like 60 or 70. Could I own a boutique? Could I do this later on? I don't know. It's kind of fleeting because now I'm like, oh no, that would be a lot of work. But for a moment, I thought that is awesome. When in years past, I never even would have ever considered having a brick and mortar store. So it's funny how your perspective can change and your season of life can affect what you're comfortable with. Let me say that again. The season of life that you're in can and will affect what type of business you're comfortable running. Your season of life will dictate that, right? How comfortable are you being on every day and hiring employees and all that? You have to think about that, right? If you don't have any kids at home, oh my gosh, you're probably like, yes, that's what I want to do. Or maybe not. Maybe you just want to work out of your home and do it online and it's awesome and that's wonderful. But how comfortable you are with what you are selling and how you are selling it is going to dictate the speed with which you start your business. For example, as I said in the beginning of this little section about being comfortable, I said if you find a need in the marketplace, like just a need, it's not even something that you're super passionate about, but you're like, there's a need and I could make money, you could probably, I bet, get started pretty quick because when you know that there's a need, like you don't really even care about all the fluff and all the like stuff of like, oh, I need to have the most beautiful website. And you realize like, no, I just need to tell people that I'm offering it because they'll buy it. And a lot of times those people can get their businesses up really quick. It's those of us who want to make it all perfect and our style and all beautiful and amazing so that we leave a good impression on everyone and we take forever. Right? So sometimes you got to think about that. Like, am I just doing this because I want to make an impression? Or am I doing this because there's actually a need? And finding that good balance is probably where the sweet spot is, right? There's a need and you want to make it amazing and you feel good about it and you can get to market quick and then you can perfect and make things precious as the months and years go by, right? Does that make sense? So let's review these again. Again, if you're asking yourself, how fast can I start my business and get it open? Well, it all depends as long as you want to let it take. Number one, your location of your business, online, local. Number two, type of business, retail. Is it something you're wholesale? Are you just, is it a product? Is it a service? Is it a whole coaching package that's a year-long commitment that somebody's got to make? Like, what is it? The type of product that it is it a $5 product? Is it a $10,000 product? That will make a difference. Number 3, whether you've been doing this a while or not, if you have experience, your experience level with this type of product or running a business will have a big factor in this, right? If you told me to start another business tomorrow, I could help someone have a business up tomorrow, like a website, get it up super easy, or an Etsy store. Like, I can do things super fast because I've done it before if I had to, right? It wouldn't be amazing, but I'd get it up tomorrow. I could have it up, or even tonight. We could be getting something up, right? But we'd have to decide a name and get a logo and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, my point is, if you've been doing this a while, you can get things up quick. If you haven't, it's going to take you a while, and it's okay. So ask yourself, how much experience do I have doing this? If you have 0 doing business and 0 with your product, it's going to take you a little longer from what I've observed, okay? The 4th one is the time, the amount of time that you have in your life to work on this. Give yourself some grace. If you were in a season of life where you're super busy and you don't have that many hours, then it is going to play into the length of time. And then you have to ask yourself, is this the right time? If it's not, just wait another year or 2 years or whatever it is. But if you want to kind of get things rolling, there's no harm, no foul in using some of your spare time that you would have been just watching TV or something, or, scrolling on social media. You could be educating yourself about entrepreneurship. Okay. The 5th thing is how much money you have to get started. If you have no money, and depending on the type of product that you're offering, this could take you a lot longer than if you have a little bit of money to like put into getting help and to doing the core things that really matter. And the 7th thing is how comfortable you are with the product and way that you're offering it, right? Are you comfortable? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel aligned with this? That will make a difference, because if it feels icky or uncomfortable, or you're like, I don't know. I like this business idea, but I don't love it. You're going to draw it out, Or if you see a need, you may be able to be like, okay, I'm comfortable that it's just a need and that's all I want to do. You could probably get it up pretty quick. Is that making sense at all? It's basically just, how comfortable are you with this idea, and how comfortable are you starting a business and doing this? Is it a need? Is it more of a fun thing that you want to do? And are you going to make it drag out because you want it to be perfect? Or are you going to be as nimble and quick with this process so that people can start getting results, right? So they can start getting the help that you've seen the need for, right? So that's what you have to think about. This is all going to determine how fast you start your business, okay? So there's no answer. There's no right answer. There's no easy answer. There's only the speed with which you allow it to start, right? As I said, some of you could start selling tomorrow. You literally could start telling people kind of business you're starting and start helping people immediately. Some of you are going to need to build your product or build your store or build your booth or your mobile business or whatever it is. And it's going to take you a little bit longer, and that's okay. Give yourself some grace, right? So that is it. Y'all are awesome. I hope this cleared the mud a little bit, maybe just to realize that there's a lot of factors and there's no one answer, right? So that's it. Make sure you click below to get in the Facebook group if you're not already. And if you have been wanting help to speed up things in your business and learn the proven path for getting started or getting growing, click down below, because I've got links where you can find out how you can work with me. Okay, that's it. Y'all have a great day. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.